5-part series that I've done on some different yoga practices, some quick yoga practices that you can do at home. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. All right, so we're going to get started today with a hip opening sequence. So if you want to come onto hands and knees, and you can take your knees wide on your mat and just kind of sink back towards your heels. Maybe your big toes touch behind you. And I have a blanket down underneath my knees. I'm on a wood floor, so that might be a little bit more comfortable for some of you to have a little bit of padding there. So from here, we're just going to walk our fingers forward and then just start to melt yourself down towards your mat to whatever space feels good for you. So your forehead might reach down towards your mat, or maybe your head can rest on a pillow. So just kind of find whatever works for you. So this is our child's pose. So you're reaching forward through your fingers and just sinking down towards your mat. So you can stay there for a few breaths, and while you're kind of in this grounding position, I'm just going to read a poem from Mary Oliver, and it might resonate with you, parts of it may. So I like to offer just a little reading, little thought as we come into the practice. So she writes, I rose this morning early as usual and went to my desk. But it's spring and the thrush is in the woods, somewhere in the twirl branches, and he is singing. And so now I am standing by the open door, and now I am stepping down onto the grass. I am touching a few leaves. I'm noticing the way the yellow butterflies move together in a twinkling cloud over the field. And I am thinking, maybe just looking and listening is the real work. Maybe the world without us is the real poem. So that's by Mary Oliver. So as you're here in your child's pose, take some nice deep breaths and just kind of focus in on how you're feeling as you're doing the practice, as we start to settle in. Deep breaths, you might feel your belly rise, and then as you exhale, let your belly fall back. 2 more breaths here. Deep inhale in. Exhale your breath out, just let it go. Feel your body sink down a little deeper towards your mat. So as you're ready, you can start to slowly walk your fingers back towards your body. You're kind of lifting up through the torso. And then go ahead and sit over to one side. Bring your legs around front. And we'll start with the soles of our feet together. We call this butterfly pose. So your knees are out to the side, and we're just lifting up through the torso nice and tall. And then you can stay right here and just kind of let your knees fall out to the sides. I also wanted to offer a little support if you need. I have yoga blocks, but not everybody has yoga blocks. So you could use a blanket kind of rolled up under your knees, or pillows. So you can definitely put something under your knees to give you a little support. Another option is to take your elbows and just kind of push away on your thighs. And that'll give a little bit more opening to the hip area. So you can again stay right here. If you'd like, you can start to just kind of reach the chest forward. Maybe interlace your fingers around your feet and just kind of lift forward. So you don't have to curl all the way in. See if you can stay lifted through the heart, through the chest. And just gaze in front of your mat. So now if you feel like this is about where you want to land, you can start to curl yourself in and just let your head relax down. Take some nice deep breaths here, inhaling in and exhaling out. Let it go. If you have any props under your knees while we're here, if you want to just try to remove the props and see what that feels like, you can certainly do that. Maybe you have a little bit more space now that we've been in the pose for a little bit. And we'll stay here for one more breath, knees out to the sides. Exhale your breath out, let it go. Beautiful. Roll yourself back up to seated. And then we're going to come around, swing our knees around this time, come into our tabletop position. So I'm just going to kind of come to the side here so that you can see more of what I'm doing. So since we're working on the hips, we're just going to do a couple of rotations of our hips in a circle. So we're going to rock our hips over to the right and then sink your hips back towards your heels and come over to the left. And then just kind of keep making these big circles through the hips. Just loosening up. I know that we've all been sitting a lot with working at home. You might find yourself in the same chair for 8 hours or so or more. So doing these hip stretches is really good to start getting things moving. And then we'll take it in the opposite direction. So come on over to the left, circle around. And just keep breathing as you roll the hips. Beautiful. One more circle here. And then we'll come back to neutral spine. And again, if you have blocks or some kind of prop, you can bring those to the front of your mat. If not, no worries. I'm going to bring my left foot forward. My cat's back behind me here. So I'm going to rock over to the side a little bit. So my knee is right over my ankle. And then just so you can see my back leg, I'm going to come at a little angle here. So I don't want to be right on top of my knee. I want to kind of have a little angle to that leg. So find your position here. And again, without blocks, it's totally fine. You can have your fingers down on your mat, or you can just rest your hands up on your knee. And you're just kind of sinking down through the hips. So just let yourself kind of go through the hips. Use gravity here. And we'll just take one more breath. Inhale in, exhale out. And then we'll start to slowly rock the hips back towards that right heel and straighten out that left leg. Maybe take your toes and point them back towards your body. We call this runner's lunge. Probably guess why. A lot of runners do this stretch. Good, so sinking back, and then we'll start to rock forward again, sink back down through the hips. One more breath here. Inhale, and exhale the breath out. Beautiful. Let's rock one more time back. Runner's lunge, straighten through that left leg, sit back towards the right heel. Beautiful. And then we'll just come forward and you can relax. Let's bring that left knee back. And then we'll bring that right foot forward. Same deal on this side. Little angle to the back leg so that you're not right on top of that knee. And knee over ankle, and we're sinking down through the hips. Just sinking in. You can close your eyes if you like. And again, think of those options. So you're welcome to bring your hands up to your knee. And just sink in. Beautiful. We're going to transition now to a runner's lunge. So straighten through the right leg. Fold yourself over that right leg. Maybe point the right toes back towards your body. And breathe here. One more breath. And we'll move back forward. Sink back down through the hips. Breathe in. Breathe out. And let's sink back, rock back towards the right ankle, right heel. Beautiful. One more time. Let's come forward. Sink down one more time. And then we'll bring that right leg back behind us again. All right. So let's come down. We're going to actually come down to our backs. So you can just kind of shift yourself. I'm going to just turn this way so you can see what I'm doing. Bring my microphone down here. All right. So from our back, we're going to take the right leg and cross that ankle over the left knee. So just like you're sitting in a chair with your legs crossed. So from here, this might be a good stretch for you. You're feeling something in the right hip. You can always kind of push away on the thigh a little bit to get a little more stretch. If you like a little more, you can lift that left foot off of your mat and you're going to feel that right leg come towards you. And then the last part of this pose would be to extend that left leg straight up. Maybe interlace your fingers around the left thigh and just lift back towards you. Breathing in, you can flex your left toes down towards your body. Exhale the breath out. Beautiful job. So let's unwind here. If you have that left leg lifted, bend the knee. Bring that left foot down to the mat, uncross your right leg. And we'll take it to the other side. So cross the left foot over to the right knee. And then again, just kind of check in with your body, see how you're feeling on this side. Maybe press away on that left thigh a little bit, down towards the hip area. So you're just kind of pressing, a little stretch. And then if you'd like a little more, you can lift that right foot off of your mat. Brings the whole thing forward. So you can kind of judge where you want to go here. And then slowly, if you'd like to lift that right leg straight up, the last part of the pose, you can interlace your fingers around the right thigh and just kind of lift that leg back towards you. Breathing in and breathing out. Slowly start to bend that right leg. Foot comes onto the floor, and then go ahead and lower the left foot down onto your mat. And let's just take a nice full body stretch here. So reach your arms up overhead and then stretch your legs out to the end of your mat. And just reach, nice and long, from toes to fingers. Take a deep breath in. Exhale the breath out. And then just hug your knees up into your chest. So opposite direction here. Just Hugging your knees in, rock from side to side a little bit. And then our last pose will be a happy baby. So you can let your knees kind of come to the sides, down by your hips a little bit, and then extend your feet up towards the sky. See if you can either hold on to your feet or your toes or maybe your ankles. And we're just kind of encouraging the knees to come down to the sides a little bit, maybe rocking side to side. And then slowly lower your feet back down to your mat and extend your legs straight out. Maybe your arms come down to your sides. And let's just take a moment here in our relaxation pose. Just letting our bodies get nice and heavy on the mat. Inhale in and exhale out. And slowly start to move your fingers and your toes. Give your knees a nice hug into your body. Rock on the spine if you like. And then just make your way to one side and then press yourself up to a seated position. And we'll just end our short practice today with bringing our hands through to our heart center. Bow your heads down towards your fingers. Find gratitude for yourself, for this day, for this practice. And I hope to see you again soon for another round of practice. Namaste. So thank you all.